Hi everyone, it's Susan with a reading for the 19th of March for the week. I've already done a reading for the equinox and the new moon. Both of those are happening this week, but this is just a little bit more on what is coming. So the biggest thing I hear at the moment is get real. And that's going to play out in your life this week. That thing of looking at your life, looking at what's going on, looking at what's happening in the news or in the media and saying to yourself, what is real? So we have this great thing happening at the moment with artificial intelligence and the ability for some technology to create scripts, to create videos, to create advertising and marketing. And we're moving away from what is real. And I think more and more that is happening in the outside world is to remind us internally what we have to look at. So for you in your life, especially this week, you will be in some kind of a quandary about something, because we're always in a quandary about something, aren't we? But there will be this realization this week of what is real and what is true. And if you're doubting what is real and what is true in your life, everybody's got a spin on something, everybody. So you can look at things in so many different ways, but you'll come back to what is true and what is real based on what is in your heart. So very much a return to the heart energy this week and almost taking that path of least resistance. Because sometimes we want something because we want it so badly. And we say, well, I've been working hard for this, or I don't want to give this up because I've put so much energy, time, effort into it. And you're actually stopping yourself from moving into this energy of grace. And grace was the last video I did for Mary. So if you haven't already watched that, it's only a short one. I think it's about 12 minutes or something, and it's on the channel. But this energy of grace, ease and grace, what is real? So very much this week, getting real. So a lot of being called to account this week. And I think in the political world, we are seeing people like Trump and Putin and other people having arrest warrants out for them for the crimes they've committed. Because there are so many crimes that have happened, whether you are a follower of those people or not, there are things that have happened that have gone against human rights or against what is right, moral and just. So this week, this getting real theme is very, very strong. Because as we move into the new moon and the equinox is about balancing things. There's balance of light and dark as we move more into more of one. But there's this kind of thing where everything comes to like this kind of a standstill for a moment in time. And at that moment in time this week, when the equinox happens, I think it's the 21st, potentially you might just stop for a minute and kind of go, well, what is my truth? What is my alignment? What is my reality? And you can always flip into a new reality whenever you want to. That's up to you how you do that. But the offer this week is to actually stop kidding yourself, stop being kidded, stop being fooled by either those thoughts or beliefs that say that you're not enough or that you can't do something. But also don't be kidding yourself where things really aren't working for you. And you think, well, if I just do this, or if I just try this little bit harder, or if only I had done this differently, then things would be different. It's kind of like clean slate this week. Forget it. Forget it. It's like jumping into this aspect of the reality of your breath, your awareness, your joy, your happiness, your ability to create whatever it is that you want to create. We've got this massive Heaven's Cross opening on the 22nd of March. So to be ready for it is just to be aware that it's happening, but to be aware of all of the old house of cards that's falling down. So there's been all these things that have happened that you might have been going over and over in your mind and questioning. Because I have seen that a lot. I've seen it a lot with my clients. I've seen it a lot with my friends, where people are going over and over and over the same story. And this has been going on for about 6 months or more, since we had that massive eclipse in October, which was all designed to help us move into more of the light, more of our light, more of the light of consciousness and awareness. So your business in life, your sacred business, is to truly get real with yourself. And reality always starts with love. It always starts with kindness. So the reality about you, what is that reality? I'd love to hear, by the way, what your comments are on that. So if you're in a relationship that hasn't been working, yeah, maybe it's time to get real with it. If it's not working because you think it can't work, maybe it's get real with that. Of course things can work. Things can work when we change our perspective. So this week, a lot about perspective, the perspective that you have, the perspective that other people have, and knowing that you can't change somebody else's, but you can always change your own. The work that you put into things, because things do take work. Everybody would love it if we could wave a magic wand and things would be automatically amazing, but it doesn't always work like that. Now, I'm in a different place, as you might see by the background, so I haven't got my box of cards with me, but I'm using these cards, and I think they are Sacred Earth cards. Haven't got the box to show you what the cards are, because it's in another room, and anyway, I'm not as organised as what I normally am, but it's okay. It's okay because it's real and it's spontaneous and it's just is what it is. So I'd like 3 cards, beautiful spirit, to help us see what we need to be aware of to navigate this week with a bit more joy, a bit more insight, and a bit more awareness. So this is an interesting card. So it says efficiency, and beautiful girl in nature, but she's holding what looks like a gold coin. There's very much a spiral in it. There's no numbers on these cards either, just beautiful colours that I'm drawn to. So a lot of gold. It actually reminds me of autumn leaves, so things being let go of, and kind of makes me think how efficient we are when we're not carrying around those negative thoughts, the negative beliefs, and where we truly step into what's valuable. So what is valuable in your life? What do you love doing? Who do you love being with? What gives you that great sense of joy? So this, it's like a car running. Sorry, I'm just getting all these images, you know, this, I'm thinking of fuel efficiency when I talk about this. So that fuel, what feeds, what fuels your soul? What makes you feel happy? What makes you feel enlightened and lighter? When you tap into that, which you will this week, there will be a smoothing of things. The road ahead will what could seem rocky. It's kind of like saying it doesn't have to be hard if you just put things in their right priority and perspective. And we're always talking, you know, about having the right priorities. And I think that with our priorities, I'm just looking at this card a little bit deeper. There's a full moon in the background of the card. And of course, this week we're going to have the new moon. And if you can kind of see, it's like almost hiding behind the trees there. Well, the new moon is where the moon is in the sky, but we just don't see it because it is, you know, the way that the earth is tilting, we just don't get to see it, but it's still there. So perhaps this week it would be bring light into what is still there within you, what is still there within your circumstances that is real, that is really gives you tangible happiness, tangible results, that stuff that lights you up, that feeds you, that helps you. Because when you do that, you will feel more valuable, you will be more efficient at whatever it is that you are doing. So anything, you know, exercise will be easier when you're doing what is joyful for you. So a big call this week to seeing your value, maybe looking at what you can let go of, always what you can let go of. Oh, I really, really, really love these cards. This beautiful one now, connection, and you'll see beautiful starfish in the card there. Beautiful energy of being underwater. And this energy of Aquarius that we are moving into, this fluidity, energy of softness, the divine feminine. And that star, even when you look at it, it's kind of got a bit of attitude. So connecting in with yourself, connecting in with your soul. But the connections that you will form with Mother Earth this week, with the universe, that's what the Heaven's Cross is about. So this connection, this alignment that's happening is going to help you become more efficient in many ways. It will help you see your value. See, what they're talking about with this Heaven's Cross energy on the 22nd of March is a great influx of light, a great influx of new spiritual guidance, a thinning of the veils. And very interesting, this morning I'm staying in a different place, as I said before, and I went for a walk at a beach that I don't normally go to, didn't really know where I was, to be honest. When I got there, it was foggy. And I'm looking and I'm walking and I could only see, maybe 100 yards in front of me. But it made me realise that that's what the veil is like. So the veil is there, the illusion of separation, the illusion that there is nothing else coming, the illusion that we don't see where we're going. And I think for many of us, me included sometimes, as I've talked about many times, there's a knowing but not knowing. A knowing that something's coming, just not knowing how. A knowing that things are changing, just not knowing what to. And knowing that we are on our path, but sometimes not knowing what that path really is. So with this thinning of the veils, if you think about walking along a beach that is foggy, and as you walk, every step that you take, you see more and more. And eventually, the fog, as the sun comes up, so as the light comes up, it burns into that fog and it makes things clear. So I was being shown very very physically this morning exactly what's happening with this Heaven's Cross. We're all in a fog. The light, the sun is coming in, and it's almost like the light brigade, the energy of spiritual support, help, just so much support, so much help, so much connection from the unseen realms to help us really become real. So not seeing things through clouded eyes, but seeing them through eyes of love and seeing things clearly. Now, when you see things clearly, it usually means you've got to make some changes. It usually means that you've got to either accept things or change things. So it's that put up or shut up kind of energy that we're going to see this week. Pretty exciting, really. Okay, what else? Well, this kind of card is interesting because it doesn't fit with the others in a way, in the energy of the others being very soft and more of the blues and the greens, and this one being this colour of the yellow, the orange, the colour of the light, and the alliance, the holy alliance is what I'm seeing. So whilst we've, been going through this watery time of deep emotions, because I know many of you have, this is a time for more of the passion, the fire, but the knowing that you've got strength with you, knowing without doubt what you know. So expect this week to have that crystal clear clarity for yourself. And the alliance energy, calling in the alliance of those in the spirit world, your loved ones, your helpers, the spiritual realms that are more and more making their presence known from all corners. And I love that, even the image of the drum there, north, south, east and west. And I don't know why we ever talk about the four corners of the world when our world is round, but it's the different directions, the different elements. So all of those elements exist within the whole. And for you, really look at the different ways that you pull yourself around, the different directions you're going to be called into. And I am seeing for so many of you this week that there's going to be a kind of a reward energy or a recognition, and that may come through words, it may come through the physical connection that you have with others, but it'll be more of an internal thing, a kind of thing where you look at yourself and you go, wow, this is the journey I've been on. And when you get real with yourself this week, you will understand that you haven't been wasting time. Because many of you feel like you've been wasting time. You feel like things aren't moving quickly enough, and you question everything and you say, well, why is it not happening quicker? Why do I have these physical aches and pains? So this week, more and more, you will feel that energy of completeness, all the directions being within you, which will be a rewarding and fulfilling feeling, is how I'm being shown. And I'm hearing that song, Stop in the Name of Love. No, stop in the name of love. I can't remember the lyrics, but that's all I need to say is that stop in the name of love. So it'll be that get real, but stop. Stop whatever needs to stop, whether it's the overthinking, the over anything. Maybe it's the underachieving. Maybe it's the underwhelm that you have sometimes with life. But it's stop, but do it in the name of love. And one more beautiful card. Yeah, I love this one. So surface, and what I see there is that hidden part of you coming to the surface. Coming to the surface in all glory, all love, all light. Being real, being seen, being not afraid to be who you are. And that can be being very vulnerable sometimes. When we're real, we have to be vulnerable because we're not perfect. We're not meant to be either, by the way. How boring would that be? But we're meant to be real. But this is a rising up. So this rising of your soul, rising of your energy, rising of your truth, rising of your own reality into your world so you can see it clearly and you can kind of flow more now into this beautiful, beautiful opening that we've got coming. So I'm super excited about it. Can't wait to, and I know I was just going to say I can't wait to see and feel what happens, but I do remember very clearly in 2012, what are we now, 23, so 11 years later, is that? I think so, 11, 2 new beginnings. But I remember in 2012 being hugely disappointed that we didn't actually physically feel any huge shift. Well, the shift has been going on. It's been going on for decades, by the way, not just since 2012. But I know that for many of you that watch this, you are light workers, you are healers, you are those people who are way showers and pathfinders. So for many of you, you've already done so much work. Expect the change maybe will be subtle, but there'll just be a lightness in your step. There'll be a renewed joy, and that's going to increase and increase and increase. And I just feel very called to say that there is, again, so much love for us. So that if you ever do feel like you are alone, you just have to know that you're not. That this is a time to call on that part of you that has lived so many lifetimes, that has done so much work in this lifetime. So call on you to rise up, call on your best self, and even your, sometimes I want to say even that self that is sometimes feeling tired and heavy, call on that self to rise up too, just to be seen, to be present, to be part of everything, so that you don't leave any part of you hidden or beneath the surface. Do not let yourself be small. Do not let anybody else make you small. Have a beautiful week. Again, thank you for all of those of you that follow and comment and share and subscribe. Much love to you, and I will see you again very soon. Okay, bye for now.